let's talk about this last episode of 90 Day Fiancé with Forrest and Sheena. They spent their first night together after knowing each other for over 7 years. And they wake up the next morning and they all decide to jump in this car with Forrest's mom and his stepdad, and they're all gonna go out and have some lunch together. And they get in the car and they're just riding in the car in complete awkward silence. So Molly, Forrest's mom, decides to try to start some small talk, and she's like, "Okay, guys, you guys had your first night together, so how did it go? I think I heard some giggling up in there." And you could tell, like, really, she thought something more than giggling was going on. And they were just like, "Yeah, we were hanging out, we were just talking." And she's like, "Talking? That's all you guys did?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, so you didn't you didn't get no nookie nookie?" And they were both looking at each other, Forrest and Sheena. They looked horrified. And she's like, "Yeah, so if you guys didn't hook up, then why not?" And Forrest was like, "I just don't think it was the right time and place." And Sheena said the exact same thing. And I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, they're still building up after getting to know each other. I mean, Forrest hasn't even kissed a woman yet, and he finally just got his first kiss. So I'm sure they're gonna like want to take it slow and go to first base first. At this point, I think Forrest's mom is ready for him to lose his virginity just so she can be like, "Yeah, he finally got it in." And she can stop calling her son a freaking 30-year-old virgin. And I also kind of feel like the producers were probably encouraging her to ask Forrest about his sex life because he doesn't seem like the type that will just bring it up to producers just out of respect for Sheena. But Molly, she kept pressing and pressing. After they told her that they didn't hook up, she's like, "Why not?" She looked disappointed. And they're like, "Yeah, it wasn't the right time." And I also feel like it was probably awkward being right next to Molly and her husband. If they do decide to get it in, I think they should go get their own room for the night so they could be comfortable for their very first time and not have to worry about anybody else. I mean, I'm sure Molly, I could just hear her probably like cheering on Forrest as she hears them bumping in the room right over. And I don't know how awkward she's making it when they haven't had sex. I can't even imagine how awkward it'd be if they did have sex. Like if they did admit, "Yeah, we got it in." Like, I'm sure she would have been like, "Oh, what positions? How long did you last?" She would have wanted all the deeds like she wants now about their non existent sex life. And then after they said they didn't hook up, she still wasn't satisfied. She said, "Well, there's other ways you guys can be intimate. You can, play DJ, with her coochie. You can kiss, you can fondle her a little bit." And Forrest was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna have to stop you right there, Mom. You are crossing a line." And he was saying what we were all thinking. And Molly was shocked. I don't think she's used to being reprimanded by her own son. I'm sure he lets her get away with a lot of things, but now that his Sheen is in the picture, he's not going to let anybody mess with his Sheen or make her feel uncomfortable. So he's going to stand and ride for her. I think Molly was kind of looking out for Sheena in a way because she wants to make sure Sheena's happy too, and she wants to make sure that her son is thinking about Sheena's needs. And just, I think she kind of just thinks her son's an idiot, may not know that there's such a thing as foreplay and doing other things besides sex. But I don't think he's no dummy like she keeps trying to act like he is. Yes, he's on the spectrum, but I don't think he's a complete dumbass like she's trying to act like he is. I'm kind of like Molly though too. Like I can't do silence, so sometimes if I'm sitting there in silence, I'll just start spitting off whatever is coming across my mind without fully thinking things through. And I feel like that's what Forrest's mom was doing in this moment. And Forrest ended up apologizing to Sheena. She said she was okay. Before I talk about the rest of this episode, I want to talk about some tea before I forget about it. So shout out to My Thoughts and Sauce on YouTube. I was watching one of Sauce's YouTube videos about Forrest, and he actually shouted out this My Thoughts video, and I couldn't find the exact video to get the clips from her video, so I do want to give her credit. So here are some screenshots from his video because I couldn't find these exact I'm starting to think he might have deleted this reply after people started talking about it. But this was Anime News and Facts that says hentai was the most searched term on P-Hub in 2024. So Forrest came in the comments and he just wanted to share a few thoughts. He said, not surprised. Men don't like dealing with real women these days or look at them after knowing everyone saw their gross goods that have been used. Okay, but wouldn't that be the same for the anime characters? I mean, they've been used in the videos and they've been seen by plenty of people watching the videos. And then Molly and Forrest and Sheena and Molly's man all went and sat down at this restaurant. They're just sitting there in awkward silence. Sheena and Forrest really don't have much to say. But that's like a good thing that they can also sit there and just be comfortable in silence. But of course, Molly, she had to kill the vibes. They ordered their food. They haven't even got their food yet. And they're all talking about how hungry they are. And then Molly decides, okay, it's a good idea to sit here and grill Sheena right now while we're waiting on our food. She asked Sheena straight up. She said, I want you to tell me what happened with that money. And Sheena said, I'm just going to explain it to you straight up. My culture's different. And my parents over here, they're supposed to be taken care of by their kids. So that's what I did. She was quick with her answer. She wasn't stumbling across her words like she was lying. But Molly, that answer wasn't good enough for her. She said, well, why would you lie about it though? And she said, well, my parents can be manipulative. They'll sit there and they'll make me feel like a bad child and like I'm not doing my part if I don't send them money. So I give in and I end up doing it. And Molly was like, yeah, but that's still a problem because you're lying to Forrest and this is still affecting Forrest at the end of the day. And Sheena just kept saying, oh, it's my parents, it's my parents. And I think more than anything, Molly wanted to say, okay, yeah, it was me. She wanted her to say she was scamming Forrest or something. She was convinced. And it's like she wouldn't take any other answer unless Sheena told her that. And Sheena didn't tell her that. So she was not happy and she just kept pressing Sheena. And Sheena finally got frustrated and she started breaking down crying. And then Forrest's mom just threw her hands up and she's like, see, you're being emotionally manipulative. Instead of answering the questions, you want to just cry like, poor me. Look, I've known people like that before who will cry anytime you try to have a hard conversation with them, and it is emotionally manipulative. And they'll try to, you feel bad, so you don't want to talk about it. You want them to calm down, and then when you bring it up again, they start crying again, and it's just a never ending cycle, and nothing ever gets fixed. But I don't think this is what Sheena is doing in this situation. I just think she's frustrated because no matter what she's saying, it's not good enough, and she's not going to make up some BS and lie just to tell Molly what she wants to hear, and she's realizing that nothing she says is good enough. And the fact that Molly's just like pushing it way too far. Like, you just met this girl, like you are way too comfortable talking to her like that. You gotta like chill, like just ask her, and at the beginning you just gotta take her word and just keep an eye on her, and if she does it again, then grill the hell out of her. Well, I guess it did happen a couple times, so I do see like where she's frustrated, but there's a time and place for everything. You didn't have to bring it up at the very first time that the whole family goes out to eat together and nobody even got their food yet. I like let everybody eat at least first before you start the BS. She's just coming off way too strong. She's grilling Sheena like that's her daughter. Like, she's 4. It's like she would grill her son if she's upset with her son. But you can't be acting, you're just way too comfortable with Sheena, and it's way too soon to be acting this way. And she's gonna push Sheena away acting like this. She needs to chill out and just take a step back and just enjoy their time together. Like, I would have saved this conversation for like later on. Like, I know you want to get to the bottom of things, but damn, it's like you want to ruin things this early on. But you guys let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching.